Everyone, welcome back. So I've got a bit of a rant today about my bank. So I've had my car note with them for about a year now. I've never been late on a payment, always paid a little bit extra, trying to get the thing knocked out earlier. So I figured, hey, you know what, I'll go to them first for this loan for this motorcycle that I want. So I call my bank, tell him what I want, and he's like, all right, well, let's get some information. Calls me back like an hour and a half later, says, okay, I need, your last 3 pay stubs. So I dole out the pay stubs along with a letter saying I got a raise. And then, so they say, okay, so you've been approved for, it wasn't a great interest rate by any means, but, they were going to cover 100% of it. I didn't have to put anything down. With Christmas around the corner, I just don't have the extra money to put like $800 down on a motorcycle. So, I'm thinking, great, all right, so I got my hopes all up. I'm like, all right, tomorrow I'm going to go pick up this bike. I got 100% of it covered. I can start making payments on it, pay it off a little early, and I'll be good to go. So, they wind up calling me back after, I don't know, maybe another 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And they say, oh, yeah, sorry. So when we told you you were approved for 100% of it, we didn't actually mean that. We meant that you'll probably be approved. I'm like, well, it's not exactly the same thing, but okay, whatever. So we talked to our loan officers, and we'll cover 80% of the cost of the motorcycle. I'm like, well, dude, that leaves me stuck paying between like $800 and $1,000 up front, which I don't have $800 to $1,000 up front. So I'm already kind of pissed because I already pretty much got, planned and got my heart set on it simply because some douchebag didn't understand the difference between approved and might be approved. And, for a customer service manager, you'd think they'd, tell them not to dabble in, bullshit like that. So I'm kind of looking around. If that doesn't work, well, I get my year-end bonus and my tax return within like a 2-month period, so I'll probably just pick it up then. But it's a little frustrating, kind of got my hopes up for it. So hopefully one of the other banks I looked at comes through. I know my friend got his car loan through them. But here's the thing I thought was funny. So I asked the bank, okay, so, if I paid this 20% of the cost of the bike, how much of a loan could I get? And they're like, oh, we'll finance you up to $8,000 as long as you paid 20% of it. I was like, okay, wait. So you guys will give me, figure out the math here, $6,200? I was like, so you guys would give me $6,200? And they said, yes. So which I said, well, why can't you just give me the $4,000 for this bike? Because it's a lot less money. And if you trust me with $6,200, you should trust me with $4,000. And they're like, oh, well, it doesn't work like that because you'd have to pay extra. Or you'd have to pay up front. So I don't understand it. I'm sure there's like somebody out there on the internet that understands. It's probably something to do with the value of the bike or whatever. But in any case, it was pretty irritating. I'm kind of pissed off with my bank right now. So probably I'm going to refinance my car at another bank. Anyways, thanks for listening to my rant.